Welcome to the Money Collective podcast. We're here to uplift your financial well-being. Your hosts are me, Mel Pierce, and Darlene Yu. We are the co-founders of the Money Collective, and together we have over 50 years of finance and banking experience. We provide the tools, information, and guidance to better understand your money and feel confident making money decisions. Welcome to another episode of our podcast.
Yeah.
Uplifting your financial well-being with us.
Yes. Yes.
I think I'm here to uplift my financial well-being though, honestly.
Look, we talk about this all the time. It is very therapeutic. And we have lots of, I reckon, light bulb moments in the moment just by chatting with each other. And the reason we do it is because we want people to talk about money like we are and be really open and let down those walls and judgments and just, talk and share about it and take the, try and let go of some of that.
Yeah, what we hold on to. I think what we do is we protect ourselves when it comes to money. Like I think shame and guilt come up a lot, for people. We think that we're doing worse than other people. So, hey, if I share with you the honest truth about what's going on for me, maybe you can relate to that.
Yeah.
So we do always start with the truth. So for me, this week, I just wanted to chat about the fact that my bank accounts are all screwbally wrong.
Screwbally wrong?
Yes.
Did you hear her voice phrase a little bit?
Yeah, I know. It's I've got some of the basics kind of okay, but even that's not right actually. So I've got my automations going into my spending accounts because I try and control my spending. So every month I get, an allowance for certain things, and I've said this in previous weeks that I haven't got enough money going into those accounts. So I'm transferring money and I'm taking money from other accounts, which means I don't know how much impact that is having, and I don't have enough accounts. I know I'm speaking really fast right now, but basically I'm overspending or I haven't got my account set up correctly, which means I don't know how and when I'm going to reach my goals, basically, because I'm just spending the monies. So I really need to sort that out. I need to have the right amount of money going into those accounts. I need to be sticking to that budget. And I need to have more accounts set up for my goals. I tried doing that and I was a little bit frustrated because we've got joint accounts. They all need to be offset accounts. And then I set them up and then my husband needs to approve them. Getting him to log into the internet banking. I just kind of get tired in the evenings and haven't pushed that fact. So at the moment, because I haven't got enough accounts, all of the extra money sits in our home loan account. And it's just like one big lumpy lump of money, and I don't know what.
And you haven't got the clarity.
Yeah, I haven't got the clarity. I can't see it. I need to see it because that helps me and it keeps me motivated when I can see my goals growing. Or even if they're not growing, it's okay. I kind of can understand what's happening with my money at all times, and I cannot see that at the moment.
Right. That's why goals are so important, right? Because if you haven't got that, you can't see that direct link of what you're doing and whether it's working or not, or am I achieving it, or do I need to adjust?
Yes.
Or even why I'm doing it.
Yes.
There's so much emotion that goes and drive. And when I say emotion, like drive, motivation, or not, when you've got that working or not. It's actually really critical to your system.
Yes, it really is, because I can't make money decisions properly or clearly at the moment.
Yep.
So, for example, when we came back, I think I was down to about $50,000 sitting in our redraw account from our holiday, which I don't like that number. And now I've got that back up to about $63,000. So I know that I've been able to save that, but then I know that I've also changed our system so that I'm going to have lump sums coming out for tax and things like that. So it's not even a real number at the moment. So I can't see these things, and I don't really know how I'm tracking and how well I'm going. I know I'm doing okay, and I've got kind of, what I'm saying is I've got my system half set up, like to half support my behaviours, but not fully support me. Or us, I should say. I say me a lot because I feel
you're
like
doing it,
I'm
right?
the one who's doing
You're the
it.
one that's managing it for the household.
That's right.
Yeah. I think also what I take out of that is that systems, you've got to do this for life. And we talk about this. Like setting up your budget and your system is just not a one-off exercise. You have to constantly do this. And there'll be things that move around in your life in specific times. Like Mel's had systems that worked amazingly for her to go to Canada and do a wonderful trip. But now it's a reset because you've got different things that are going on and different things you have to align to. So it's you just have to keep at it.
You have to keep at it. And I'd set it up so that it would be streamlined when I got back, but it's not quite working.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's broken or my budget doesn't work. It can definitely, it's asking for improvement though.
I think it's great that you're reviewing it and, keep, and changing it to what you need right now.
The thing is that it takes time too, so it's like I need to actually put time aside to do it. And at the moment, I've only really got Saturdays in my life. So I need to just carve out some time and prioritise it somewhere. It needs to be prioritised. Otherwise, that shit ain't getting done.
It doesn't get done. And I think that is the art, because there's so many great messages there. Because that's the other thing. We put it at the bottom of the list when we get time.
Yeah.
When we get time, we'll do that. We'll get time, we'll do it.
I feel like
that
I've been
never
doing
comes.
that for 2 months now.
Well, it sounds like that's a really good next step. Yeah. My truth is about kids and activities. I've only got one at home, Lily. She's 13. I've talked about her a lot on the podcast, but she does quite a lot of activities. And it's not just the time commitment. It comes back to the money commitment, right? So and then whether or not she's appreciating them enough to put in, and then you think, well, why am I doing it? Is it good for you? Is it good for me? And is it good for the budget, right? So at the moment, what she does is she's dancing 2 nights a week. She's playing basketball for club. She's playing tennis for club. And she's doing violin at school.
Okay.
They're the activities that cost money.
Okay.
And if I add that up, that would be well over, and I need to go and add it up to be precise, but it would be about $6,000 a year.
Yeah.
Now, we are doing on those things. Now, where I see the passion, she's got passion for basketball. So sure, willing to, she's really trying to improve her game, and we're paying for some private, technical skills. And that's quite expensive on a Sunday night, but the uplift in a game has been amazing, and she feels really good about herself, and she's very committed. She goes out every night, shoots. She's got a thing going at the moment where she shoots 12, like from the free throw line, and she's trying to get 75% in. So every night she's doing that, and to see how many out of 12 she gets. Love it, love it, love it. So commitment, drive, don't have to chase her, don't have to remind her. She's just doing that. So that seems like that's in. Number 1, let's keep going. And then the next one is dancing. She's danced since she was about 3. She loves dancing. She's quite good at it. It gives her a chance to do things at school again. Confidence makes her feel good about herself because she can participate at a reasonable level. But it is 2 nights a week. It's a little bit of money. Again, that one would probably be a couple of grand a year. And I'd say she wants to keep that in. So her and I have had a conversation about what's in and what's out. Sorry, I didn't give you that background. And we got into a bit of an argument this week because I'm suggesting in a nice way she should quit some stuff. And she's saying, no, I want to do it all. So happy for some advice here. So I feel like from what I can gauge and see and what she's saying, they're the 2 top ones. Then we come down to tennis. So she's playing tennis for a club, and she goes to this group session on Friday nights, which she's hardly going to because of other commitments. And I've been to watch it and see it, and I don't think it's doing anything for a game.
This is a tennis mom, by the way.
Yeah. I would rather just stop that, do a couple of private lessons and get her to play club if she wants. And then, you know,
Does she
really
enjoy it though?
She tells me she does, but I'm not seeing it, you know, and she wants to. So on Saturday, she had another commitment. So she, you know, I don't want to play. And I said, well, if you're not going to play, then you have to email, like they have a junior convener. So somebody that organises the juniors at the club. And rather, I said, well, I'm not going to email because I think, you could make it and you've made a commitment to the team. If you don't want to play and you can't play for a reason, you have to email. Brian's his name. And, oh, my gosh, she was not happy about that. And I said, well, either turn up or you email Brian. That's the arrangement. So that's sort of some of the conversation we've had. And then the fourth thing is violin at school. So she's been doing violin for quite a long time. She reckons she wants to keep doing it. There's an orchestra on a Monday morning, which she never gets up in time for. She goes to a private lesson 3 out of 4 times. And she reckons she's adamant she wants to keep doing it.
So
there you go. That's all things.
Okay. So can you afford $6,000 a year?
Oh, we can, but it means if everything's a trade-off, right?
Yes.
If I had a couple of thousand back in the pocket,
yes,
that we could put towards something else that we all want to do, I'd prefer to be doing that.
Okay. So you feel like she's getting the lion's share and not appreciating it too?
Yes. And then there's about what lessons are we leaving her with?
On money as well too, because I hate it when all the time when it comes up at home when like Percy does it a lot, like when the kids don't value how much money he's spent on something, you know, so the value of money and things like that, when you know, that kind of gives me the ick sometimes too, you know, when you're always going, that's relating things back to money, you know, instead of experiences too. So how do you balance between them valuing what they're doing and not being spoilt brats and getting the most out of things as well too? Because I reckon if you dropped some of those things, it would free up some of her time to do more things that she likes. Like, first of all, she might be more rested or less tired.
I think that definitely.
Less tennis or violin might mean more basketball, which means she actually gets better at some of these things as well. And you could do a trial on it and see how it works for her. If she's really missing any of these things, or you guys decide as a family, you go, right, well, term 1 next year, this is the agenda.
Yeah.
And I really want to support you with the basketball. It seems to be your primary passion. You know, and if we let go of the tennis, maybe, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
You might even get better at the old basketball.
Exactly.
You might get 80% of your shots in.
There you go.
I don't know.
No, I like it because at the moment she feels like I'm going to take something away from her and I'm depriving her of these opportunities.
Yeah, but that's okay too.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are lessons, and sometimes we can't do everything that we want.
I think she is stretched too thin. I think that is a really key factor of me worrying about this too. You know, and the budget thing's there, but that's not the primary. I mean, it matters because we could do something else. But
as a mum, then, and sometimes we need to do that and make the calls for our kids. Yeah.
Do the hard thing.
Honestly, we were so, like, when our kids are right into cricket, and like when they were little, they would have to share their equipment. They would have to, they'd be coming with stuff they've used for years and years, and it's like not good quality. And then when they I think about a year or two ago, we started buying them really good stuff, and they're like, the amount of appreciation they had too.
So that's good.
Like,
I
don't know what the lesson is there or whatever, but sometimes when they don't know what they're missing if they have it all the time too.
I think that's a key thing too. And then I suppose on the flip of that though, you could say, well, if you invested in it, they might be more likely, you know, to really try hard. But I think you've got to try the other first to see if they like it, because I can relate to that. So Lily doesn't have her own tennis racket. Her and I are sharing a tennis racket.
There you go.
Because why would I invest in a tennis racket when
it's going to be tossed to the side maybe anyway, and she can't be bothered going to half the games.
Right? So
no tennis racket for you, Lily.
No. But then you could say the other thing. I was contemplating, do we buy a tennis racket for Christmas? But, you know, would she actually have more commitment if I did that? Yeah. But I don't think it's to do with that, actually. I just think she's spread too thin. And you just, like you said, you can't put all your energy in so many different places.
Well, you can, but it might be good to test what the difference would be if you didn't.
Yeah, you can always go back. I do like that. So, yes, I'm going to cut one out for next term.
Okay.
At least. I'd really like to cut 2, but I'm happy to cut 1 and see what difference it makes.
Yep.
Great. Awesome.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. All right. So today we've recorded a special guest interview for you, and her name is Dani Ferron. Dani, we've known for a very long time in our community. She used to work with us, so she definitely is of our ethos, and we have also done some financial wellbeing coaching together. So we have interviewed Dani. She is actually currently on a life-changing long-term trip. They're actually, her and her partner and children have moved to America in the US and have been living there and in a different life. So she's going to share her experiences and her money story. So I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, well, welcome, Dani, to our podcast. We're so happy to have you with us today. We've known you, Dani, for quite a while and have been following your story and find it intriguing and interesting, and you're definitely dear to our hearts. So thanks for being here today.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you, guys.
definitely. I feel like it's just part of family. It'll be like that forever. So yeah, we can't wait to get you to share your story.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Just for our listeners, Dani used to work with us for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And used to keep me very much in line.
I was basically your organizational girl. Come on, Mel, you haven't done this. Let's do it. Come on.
Just do it. Pick up that phone.
I know. We had so much fun. It was for a short period, because I reckon as soon as I started that opportunity with you guys, I fell pregnant. So
yes, you did. And you've had many babies since.
Yeah, 3 little boys. They keep me very busy, but yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely like-minded spirits, I would say.
Absolutely.
So maybe to kick off, today's about, your journey with money. So maybe kick off maybe your earliest memory with money and how you grew up in your family with money and how it was talked about, and what beliefs you learned, through that.
Okay. So growing up, I feel like I have a lot of memories around my dad. He grew up in Croatia. He moved over here when he was 15, and they didn't have money. So Dad's mentality was always work hard, study hard, go to uni, and get a good job. Like that's all my dad could see. That's all he wanted the three of, like, me and my brothers to do. And if you strayed from it, like, you didn't feel accepted. And I'm not sure if that was like many European families or just him.
And what were some of the beliefs that he had that, like, where you had to stay in those boundaries? Like, what was in and what was out?
Well, you had to have a university degree, basically. Okay. So I remember when I was in grade 10, I had a friend who wanted to do hairdressing. And I went for a walk with her around a park. And when I got back, I was telling, like, my mum and dad about it. And he goes, "Oh, well, you can't be friends with her." What? She's going to lead you on a straight. Anyway, ironically, however many years later, I became a hairdresser.
He was right.
Oh, totally her fault. God.
And how did that make you feel? Like, did you feel bad for becoming a hairdresser?
Yeah. Oh, so much guilt. There was even just having, we didn't have a super tight relationship, but like I always felt ashamed of the career path I had chosen. And I always, for a long time, I felt like I was trying to prove to my dad that what I was doing was good enough. and through a lot of self-development, and like I have a beautiful coach and all the rest of it, like my mindset is completely different these days. So yeah, it's such a drummed in belief when you're a child about what you should do and how to do that to impress your parents, basically. We were never like struggling for money, but I always remember my dad saying, like, you know, you've got to live within your means. And, you know, that is great, but it also within our business, it got me very nervous about getting credit cards, because I was always like, oh no, we shouldn't do this, but you know, credit cards can lead to growth. So it's just a very interesting mentality, how you look at things, right? So if we didn't have like that option of a credit card, we wouldn't have had as much growth in our business. Yeah. Anyway, I'm probably rambling off the topic, but
no, it's
yeah,
all
it is really interesting how it just sort of it plays out. Yeah, in your adult life.
And do you feel like you're
definitely.
running your own race now? Do you feel like that's changed and you just have more awareness over it?
I think by doing the work of self-development and becoming a lot more conscious of my own beliefs and my limiting beliefs that once were, I think that is where my true power lies now. I think that I have control over that, and I won't let that limiting belief stop where I want to be today.
Yeah. Did your dad treat you different to your brothers?
No.
With expectations? Yeah.
No, not at all. Maybe because I was the eldest. It was probably more drilled in, but I don't think so. I don't think it was any different.
I do think you've got that responsibility trait. You know, where and that could be just the older child syndrome.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I do feel it even like within my brothers though. Like I shouldn't speak on their behalf, but like my youngest brother, he went and finished a degree, and he wasn't happy, like not what he wanted to do. His passion is music and he's amazing at it, but he went and got an accounting degree. Similarly, that is actually what I did as well.
Yeah.
Majority of. But I think that like in this day and age, a degree is not essential. Definitely not essential to be successful.
Yeah. And you did start your business really early as a hairdresser. Like
I did. Yeah, I felt so stuck working for somebody. My mental health wasn't good because like I felt stuck within that realm. So when I did go out hairdressing, I think I was maybe around like 21, 22 or something. I started building up a clientele. I pretty much was fully booked all the time, but I wanted more. Like I pretty much reached my cap very quickly, my capacity, and I didn't want to open, like I worked from a salon at home. I didn't want to go and lease a shop or rent a chair. Like I didn't want that. That wasn't what I was after. So I was always searching for something else. Yeah. So my husband and I started Keep It Read in 2018. We had Marcus, who was 6 months old, and we took a risk. And essentially we were on one income because I had a 6-month-old baby, and Jace was cabinet making and absolutely hated it. And his passion is drifting in like motorsport, for those who don't know motorsport, drifting. And yeah, we just took that risk, and what are we, I think this is almost our 6th year. And we're in America. It's brought us to America. We've still got a team back at home running everything, and it's just a really incredible feeling. I think when people just believe in themselves and by all means, I didn't necessarily believe in myself back then, but I do now. I think if you just take a risk and you can see the vision and the bigger picture, then that's all you need.
And I'm thinking about you and Jason and money personalities. So I don't.
That's so funny.
Can you remember doing your money personalities with us and what you are and what Jace is?
I can talk about our money personalities.
Yeah.
Is there a direct realm of it?
There's a spender, a saver, a risk taker, and an avoider.
Okay.
It's got to be a risk taker in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jason is all the risk taker and the spender.
Okay.
And then I am the conservative one. And
I don't know. What would you call that one? And a risk taker. I think you've got risk taker profile in yours as well.
I do have some risk taker, but I'm very I'm not super calculated, but I'm more risk averse than he is.
Yeah, more a saver.
Jace is very much more like, we'll just go with the flow. Everything will work out. And it always does. But I'm always like, oh my God, this month's really stressful.
And has there been times when that dynamic has been helpful, where it's been good that you've had his back because of your money personality?
Absolutely. Like, he does my head in, but we work so well as a team.
Yeah. So what are some of those things that might have happened, that haven't happened, that you might have saved?
Well, what wouldn't have happened is we wouldn't have had as much growth as what we have. We wouldn't have tried new things and failed, but learnt from it. So I think, like, whatever we do, we always take away something. So whether it's not we had huge success or, something didn't work out and we were scrambling again, but we learned. So
you think that's more Jason's personality to push you along, or more yours to do it in a safe, secure way?
Mine is definitely, I'm more comfortable in a safe, secure way, but you don't get as much growth. So I'll sort of pull the strings a little and he'll pull the other way, and we kind of just, meet
in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, we'll keep going back and forth until, I feel like that's just our whole journey. We just go back and forth, and we've had so much growth, and we learn a lot. Yeah, we're also in a very hard industry where what we do, no one else really does. So it's not like we have anyone that we can be like, oh, they're our idol, let's follow them. We're in a very unique, our business model is very unique.
The risk and reward is greater. Because it all depends on what you do and the actions that you take to get the reward. But it's really hard when you're that leader out the front of the pack. Which can be scary sometimes. But it sounds like that's where you were meant to be. Like, because I remember when Jace was working as a carpenter and he'd changed jobs and he wasn't happy, and, he was quite depressed, like not loving life the way that he does now when you've got something that you're super passionate about. And
100,
right.
Yeah.
What about though, Dani? Because it's Jason's passion and it's Jason's drive, and you've obviously helped him carve that out. And so, it's like an equal business. But how do you feel about that, and maybe finding your own path?
Yeah, I feel like as much as it is mine as well, I'm not like, my heart is not. That's not my passion. It's fun, but that's not where my heart lies. And I've enjoyed helping grow the business, but we're also at a point where I don't need to be as heavily involved. And it's been a really nice thing. So we've got a beautiful team at home who are, running the business incredibly. And Jace, still has his input. I still have a little bit of input, but I'm so pulled back from it. I don't need to be, and I can focus on myself and my new business venture.
So tell us about that and how it's making you feel.
So it's only very new. I started 3 weeks ago, but basically my aim within my business is to help other mums or people find financial freedom, essentially, by working at home on their phones. so they can be with their children if that's what they choose to do. They can travel the world and still work and earn an income. So it is a network marketing company. It is back to hair care. So I'm still sort of like in my roots and my comfort zone. But I'm loving it. Like, I have such a drive for it. And even though I'm on the opposite time zone, like it's just so much fun. Like, yeah, it's like it sparked something within me.
Yeah.
And I don't think I felt this lit up for I'm not sure if I've ever felt this lit up about something.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah. So now you feel like Jason's got his passion and you've got yours to move on
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, although our kids are still really young, like then they're not like, they are still really very dependent on me. I've got a 6, 4, and 3-year-old, so they are still very dependent on me. But I still can have my own space and do my own thing. So it's been really fun.
Yeah. So just talking about the children a little bit more and thinking about how money currently influences your life, what traits do you want to pass on to your kids? And how does money influence your day-to-day life?
Our kids, we're probably teaching them terrible money traits.
What are you worried about? What are you worried? Yeah. What do you think that comes up?
I'm worried that they're going to be spoiled brats.
Okay.
That's my first train of thought. But we do, because we're homeschooling Marcus at the moment. He's, as I said, he's 6, so that he'd be in his first year of prep in Australia. We so they've got like a chores list and stuff, and when they do things, they get stickers, and then at the end of each week, we calculate how much pocket money they get. And then we do like a fun little trip to the shops, and they spend their money, and they'll walk up, they'll choose their toy, we'll talk about how much it costs, do you have enough money, blah blah blah, and then they'll walk up to the cash person and they'll hand the money over, and then they'll get the change back. So as much as we have so many toys, I feel like we're still teaching them, valuable lessons about money. And if you don't have enough money there, then let's save for it. Or
You might not have put too much thought into it yet, but because they're little, as time goes on and they get a little bit older, how I think what we don't do is once we start to unpack our own money stories, we start to realize the things, like we've behaved a certain way because of, and mostly it's our growing up years with our families, and then we can decide on what we like and want to keep and what we can let go of. Like you were saying, you were brought up in a very more conservative finance household, and you've realized that you can be more free and let go and chase your dreams, and yes, it's higher risk but it can be higher reward. So if you contemplate that, and I wish more people would think about that and think about how they behave at home with money and their children, because everything that we do rubs off on them. And you can have siblings and their money story is different to your money story, and you're grew up in the same household, because of maybe our DNA and our mindset as well, but do you have any thoughts on that for your kids as they grow up, and what legacy and what thoughts you want to leave them with?
I don't know if it's more around money, but I feel like I definitely want them to be able to do whatever lights them up in their life. I had a realization actually quite recently. I did a live on Instagram with my coach, and it was all about money mindset. And what came up for me was I had a very big fear. It wasn't about earning the money. It was about keeping the money. So I had this scarce mentality about yes, I'm earning income, but it's not going to last. So it's going to be taken away from me. which was a really like
Mm.
interesting and confronting realization that I had. So I think just like as I've worked through that, I don't want the boys to have like, I want them to just live freely and have a healthy relationship with money. And, Oliver actually came up. Oliver's my middle child. He came up to me the other day and he was like in a fit. He's like, "Mommy, I want to go to the shops. I want to buy a toy." And I'm like, "No, Oliver, we're not going today." And he's like, "But Mummy, you get to go when you want to." And I was like, "Oh my God,
Mm.
I do." So you know what I did? Put him in the car and I took him to the shops
Mm.
because it's true. And I don't want to treat them like, to a degree. I want to treat them as equals. Like they are equals. If they've got their own money that they've worked for, if that's what you want to spend it on, let's do that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really freeing. And I think so basically you've let go of the controls where traditionally speaking, so many of us are tightly controlled around the fear of like being responsible for the outcomes of our children. So our parents hold it very tight sometimes around how to behave and act with money. Yeah, so
Yeah.
fascinating.
I think traditionally though, that is what we do as parents. We feel responsible for, obviously we want to give them the best life and but there's that thinking of it, if we're really honest with ourselves, how it reflects on us, as people.
I think you're exactly right where you say that, Darlene. I think when we are wanting that so badly, like that's what my dad wanted. He just wanted us to have a really good life. He didn't want us to struggle, but he pushed that on us, and it made us not want that at all. So I think by letting go of those reins and control, like obviously you can give guidance and whatnot, but they still need their own voice.
Yeah, and I think what comes from a lot of the work that we do and what we see, and even in our own lives with our children at home, I've certainly changed a lot of how I parent with money. Is that what we do because we want them to do it our way? It's not helping them build resilience around money. We obviously use money, but it's really about life. And those failures and those successes on their own terms, because when they do that, that's the greatest gift we can give our kids. I often talk about the experience, saving, say you're saving for a car. I remember I saved for a car and I still remember that day when I went and I bought the car. That feeling of being able to do that, we're not giving that to our children because we are saying, we'll help you do that. And we think it's coming from a really good place and helping them out, but it's not actually helping their journey and we making our choices for them. And that is a problem. I think that's really linked to kids and mental health actually, and young adults and mental health.
I've got a savings account for each of the boys and I put money in weekly for them, but I don't plan on telling them that because I still want them to work hard for that. And then when they have achieved their goal, whatever I've got there, that's a bonus. That's what we can contribute to them, whether or not it's for a car or for their first home. I would essentially like it to be for their first home and not a drift car, but we'll see.
That's it. You'll see.
We'll see. But that will just be like a gift. It's not. It wouldn't be an expectation.
Yeah, it's like a surprise thing when it happens. So they're not relying on it. They're not planning for it. It just turns up if you choose to do that. Yeah.
So I just want to I've really related to what you've said about how you treat your children and how you want to raise them and not really sculpt them and let them, kind of run their own lives a little bit. I feel like my parents did the same for me. But then the stories that I've inherited are more observational about how I've seen them behave with money. It's not what they've said to me at all about money. They didn't say, I know that my mum would have liked us all to go to university, but she never pressured us. Always were encouraged to follow our own dreams, even though I'm doing the same career that my dad is doing, because I always aspired and looked up at my dad. Like, I feel like we hear these dad stories all the time about, particularly for women, about what their dads want. And my dad never said, to do it or anything like that, but I must just hold him on a pedestal. And then the way that I formed my beliefs around money is when I've seen my parents' outcomes with money, and they haven't been really rich and they've had money come and in and out of their life as fast as it's come, so we've never been short of money. There's never been any need to worry about money, even in my growing up, but because I could see the money just leave as quickly, and they haven't retired, rich or anything like that, and things are quite a struggle financially for them. That worries me. I've inherited, and it's through nothing that they've said, but the
No,
fact that I don't
I
want the same
understand.
money outcomes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
how we walk the
I
walk
totally get
is
that.
everything.
It's like so, but yeah, but we need to like kind
we're
of.
observers.
We are.
And even as adults, we're still observers of our parents.
But we need to like stop saying this is good or bad, because I've had a great life and I've not been able to not do anything that I haven't wanted to do. But we have still a fear around, oh, what if I end up like that? Or I don't want to be that. Or what if I get all the money like what you said and then it leaves and it goes? That's a scary. It's actually putting fear into my body right now.
Oh, sorry.
Saying that. Yeah. Like,
I know.
because I believe I've very similar thoughts, and they're so powerful, and then sometimes that stops us from following our dreams.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, just
It
not
does.
even
Or
just
taking a risk.
not even
Or
just
a plan.
following your dreams, but limiting them.
Absolutely.
I think
You're staying in your safety, to stay in a safety zone, or to protect yourself or protect what you have, and then at the consequence of what truly makes you happy in life.
Yeah.
Actually, Mel's heard me bang on a bit at the minute. I'm listening to Jay Shetty,
I
Live
love
Like
Jay
a Monk.
Shetty.
Right.
He's
So
great. Yeah.
it reminds me of something, with that. We chase happiness as human beings. That's what we do. But it never exists. Like it's not a thing. The more money you have doesn't mean you're going to have more happiness.
No. We're in happiness. It's not that happiness doesn't exist.
We should be in
happy
doing
right
what we
now.
want right
It's
now.
not
Exactly.
something that we have to go and find.
Yeah.
We just need to
We're
look
not
for it right
chasing.
now.
Yeah. And that feeling of, people thinking
I
they
think
want
that's
to get
really
rich.
hard. I think that's hard. And I understand that as well. But money does make it easier.
It does, but it doesn't make you happy.
It might not make you happy, but you get to experience things with it. It's funny because I was before this, I was making a reel, and my reel was, whoever said money doesn't,
Money won't make you happy.
Money won't bring you happiness. And I've written, I call bullshit.
Yeah.
because you can have so many incredible experiences traveling the world, like with your family. Like it does
enable you to have experiences.
It enables you to have experiences and have those incredible core memories with your family. And I totally understand what you mean, Darlene, about like it has to be within. Of course, you need to do the work before you can appreciate the money. But
But the point is, though, Dani, I think that you need to, if you're going on a trip, the happiness isn't planning for the trip or the fact that you can go on a trip. The happiness comes from the trip. So when you're in so in the moment, we need to make sure that we're doing that.
I know.
Yeah.
But I think
and come back into the moment and what we enjoy, and because
otherwise it's a wasted
life
trip.
passes you by,
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
And you could go to America and be super worried about so many things, or you could just have the experience and be in the moment.
Totally.
It's very interesting.
It's hard because you've also got to be able to afford to get there and afford to do it.
And aspire to do more things and work hard.
And aspire to do more. It's just the mindset around it. It's the mindset around it. Having the money, of course, it's incredible because you get to do more things, but you need to have that mindset before you have the money potentially, or you need to have the mindset to know what to do with the money that will enhance that happiness potentially. So I don't know if that came out right.
I think I often think if I had some of that wisdom, then we, as you know, I think we learn for life. But if we have that wisdom now, I don't know. I challenge what you're saying a bit, Dani. I don't know. I think I definitely see what you're saying. You know, if you've got more money, you've got, you know, a choice. I mean, we talk about that in the work that we do. It does buy you choice.
That's more what it's about. It's about having the choice. Yeah. And making the memories. Not necessarily like your core happiness.
That's not your happiness though.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's about
it does bring a choice for sure.
It's about choice.
Yes.
I'll change my reel to choice.
Yeah, because you know what we say, we were talking before about fear, right? So everything comes from fear, but having choice or backup plans, or it just because for us that's very much linked to financial well-being and being more optimistic about the future. You can be when you've got that choice, even if you never, I don't know, whatever you want to spend it on is irrelevant. It's just that feeling of actually I feel safe, secure. For those people that value safety and security, you know, I've got choice, you know, I can sleep at night, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are your money fears? It sounds like you're living pretty, you know, free and liberal and try not to worry about it. Is there any money worries or fears? What are your fears about money? You talked about before. The fear of it wasn't going to come, you know, it was short-lived and it was just not going to be there. Yeah.
That was definitely one, but I feel like I'm not sure if I fully worked through it or if I'm continuing. I think you're always working through something.
Definitely.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think there's always opportunity. So I think if you look at it as you always have an opportunity, then I think your mindset shifts from fear to opportunity.
I can totally feel that energy within you.
That
like
shift.
you are just like, you don't even want to go there. It's just like, I am in that opportunity space. Like, as in,
I feel like I am, but I really did think hard about like what my fears are. But right at this very point, I don't have any.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And what about keeping that energy around you and so that you are going to the places that you want? Is it important to have people around you, like if you ever dip low or whatever, to have encouragement, or where do you get that resource from?
Like as I said, I have a mindset coach who I've been working with for a year now, and I honestly think that has shifted a lot of my limiting beliefs because
helped you step away from keep it a little bit as well?
I don't know if she's necessarily helped me with that. I think I've just allowed that space to have my own realizations, because everything is already within you, right? So I think you have all the answers. You just gotta they'll just present at different times. So my journey with her has been really good, and clearing those limiting beliefs have been very powerful to allow me that space to find where my true passion lies. And I've always known that it has been helping people, and like, I don't know, it's how you look at it, right? So like someone who might be narrow-minded might just look at it as like, oh, she's selling luxury shampoo, like, you know what I mean? Like, whereas I see it as an opportunity. Hey, yeah, it's a network marketing company, but you can come and join me, and we're selling a consumable product that is incredible. Like, it's actually like changed my hair incredibly. And you can come and join me and earn amazing money. Like, girls in my team are earning, like, she's been doing it for 18 months, earning 18K a month. Another one's earning like 43K a month. Do you know what I mean? Like, that excites me that I can help other people get to that point where they can have that financial freedom and live in abundance, and just, you know, be able to do what they want. They can work from home if they want their kids around, you know, they've got options, they've got choice. It always comes, you're right, Darlene, it always comes back to choice.
That's a choice.
Thank you for making me realize that it comes back to choice, not happiness.
Yeah.
I maybe just to finish off, or, you know, Liz Mel's got some more questions. I'd you know, love to hear if you could leave, for people that are listening to the podcast, if you could leave them with a few tips, and I'm sure they've got some already, and how liberating life can actually be. What would you leave? Maybe two or three key things.
And can I
Okay.
just add to that a caveat? Like, you're talking to somebody who's got limited choice right now. What would you say to a woman whose choices seem really confined?
Well, I've spoken to lots of women recently that have got really limited choices, financial positions. And I just think if you want something really badly, you'll go and get it.
Yeah.
I think if you want, if you want to change your life and if you want to get out of this rut, I call it, or like the position that you are in now, the struggle, then you'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think that that's just you from the very first time I met you, I reckon, to now. And, we all, like you said, you have our journeys upwards, backwards, 2 step forward, one back. But that has been it. If I had to have a tagline for Dani, that would be it. If you want it, go and get it.
And believe it too, because like your belief comes through in everything, and like that, everything that you say gives me energy. And
I
like
think
it puts the tingles through me.
Yeah, like I've got tears in my eyes.
It's so genuine.
But it's just like
Very
that's
much.
that's what it comes back to. That's my why. That's my why to my core, and I know that because it makes me want to cry. It makes me tear up because it's just like I've got that passion behind it, and I truly believe that. So
That's it.
I think
I was going to say, I'll also talk about this quite a bit, but people that do their money coaching with us and financial wellbeing, the two things that we've identified that if you don't actually do the work, you will not get any change. One is this stuff. It's mindset, limiting beliefs, money stories. If you don't actually go deep, and a coach is a great idea if you can't get there, yourself. But actually, we talk about journaling. Do certain things that can help you.
got my journal right next to me.
That can help you really unpack that. The other one is actually looking at past spending, but we won't talk about that today. But so understanding.
Definitely.
Limiting beliefs, money.
Yeah. Well, I did my Jason and I both did our money coaching with you guys, and it helped so much. Like the position that we were in at that very point in time, we needed direction and help. We're both not structured people, so numbers and systems are like too much. So like having that accountability and just like understanding the story behind it as well, our story, it was really, really, really helpful. So thank you guys.
No,
thank you, Dani, for joining us today. We have loved every second of that, and good luck with your new adventures.
That's right. And I look forward to following along and keep the journey going. It's so good. So good to see you so happy. Yeah.
Thanks,
so good.
Guys. Oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on. I feel very honoured.
Okay, so our question for today. Mel's got a great case study. Do you want to give us the scenario?
Oh, yeah, cool. So I have a mortgage broking client who is 62 years old and buying a house after a separation. And we were talking about she's planning on working for another 13 years. So like how long do we want the loan for? So if we took out a 30-year home loan, then what happens at retirement? How would she pay that out? If we take out a 30-year loan, it's going to reduce the repayments for her and make life a lot more affordable.
Cash flow.
And I'm sure we can sort something out at the back end, whether it's selling the house, downsizing, paying some of it out with super. Or if we take out a shorter loan term of, say, 15 years, then that would mean that life might be a little bit harder in the meantime. But at the back end, come retirement, the loan balance will be a lot less. And we actually did the numbers on that. So in 13 years, if she took out the 15-year mortgage, then she would only have $61,000 left on the home loan balance. And she's currently got more than that in super. So we know for sure that she could pay it out with super with a little bit of money left over and have her house owned outright. So that's really attractive. But the first instinct was to go a 30-year loan, because that means that the repayments are a little bit lower and her lifestyle right now might be a little bit nicer. And in actual numbers, it's about $550 a month less in repayments, right, to get a 30-year loan. But come retirement, she'll owe over $255,000 still on that loan, and she's got nowhere near that in superannuation. So it makes that exit strategy a lot different at come retirement, particularly if you want to stay in that house. So, the question really was, what loan term?
Great question.
So we haven't answered that. She's going to go back and have a look at her living expenses and see what she can afford, because we can actually obviously see, once you've got the clear numbers in front of you, once you're working with facts and figures, right? So the actual facts and information rather than imagined, it's going to be better. Like, we talk in those terms all the time. If you do this, if you put money in your offset account, it'll be better. If you make extra repayments, it'll be better. But I'm like, how much better?
Show me the number.
I put this much money in, how much better off will I be? They're the real numbers that we need to be seeing and talking about all the time. And then knowing your numbers for your everyday to see what's the best option. What can you make work? If you cannot make it work, and we're working with that worst case scenario, where at retirement you're owing a lot more money, okay, and you're making that as an informed decision, that's what we're going to do, then what is the plan then, right? So your plan can change along the way. This is about resilience and backup and thinking it through, rather than throwing it all out there and splatting some paint against the wall and hoping it looks good.
That's it. I love that forecasting component and actually thinking about it in that way, because normally if people are evaluating their home loans, like Mel was saying, they're just thinking about right now. What does it mean to my cash flow, which is absolutely critical information, but we're not actually giving the whole picture, because you can do some really great resilience planning, if this person chose the longer term. But then it also comes down to again, personal values, your risk appetite, your, and what else might be going on in your future life. But if you've got those facts, then you can weigh up your personality, what's likely to happen, is there more income coming in the future, to help support, that plan of not working anymore, or is this it, so really weighing up and trading off now for the future, or which one, is more critical to you, or what balance is right. So, looking at the whole picture and doing the numbers. I mean, $255,000 over a 30-year, if you take a 30-year loan term, then that after 13 years, it's $255,000, right? Is that what you said? And versus 61. That is a significant difference at that moment in time. It's going to make.
Yep.
But how much hurt do I have to have now?
Just over $100 a week.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it depends on how skimp and knowing your numbers for your budgeting now. So, wow, I love that. But that is the information you should be considering and looking at to help you make decisions, not just one piece of the puzzle.
In our everyday lives too, should I be going on that extravagant holiday or that smaller holiday? If we do the smaller holiday, this is what the other things that we can do in our life. It just is all relative. All relative.
Yeah.
Well, that's the gold we have for you this week. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
At The Money Collective, we provide financial wellbeing, premium coaching, mortgage broking and workplace financial wellbeing programs, which we couldn't do without the seamless support of our fabulous team.
If you'd like to find out more, head to themoneycollective.com.au or our socials to take action and engage our services. In our Facebook group, join the conversation and help us break down the taboo around money.
All content in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is general in nature. For tailored personal advice, please seek out a professional.